Why does Scott from CNBC never learn about free market economics? Did he never go to school? Thank God Mr. Wonderful is here to give us a lesson in what the free market can do and tell us this $1,400 stimmy checks that the government's handing to us, man, what wouldn't have been nice if we could have had $15,000 stimmy checks? Stay tuned to this end of this video, and I'm going to show you how that money got completely wasted. Let's get into it.
But the one I'm really giddy excited about, not so great for airlines though, is we're slashing our business travel and entertainment by 20 to 50% across 36 companies. And I know every CEO is doing the same thing. If you want to travel anywhere for business, you have to petition it now. In my companies, 10-page plus an IRR. Why I would ever do that?
10 pages? Mr. Wonderful. 10 pages, man? Are you the government? 10 pages? To travel with Mr. Wonderful? Mr. Wonderful, come on, man. You're not a bureaucracy. Come on, Mr. Wonderful. You do better.
We have a digital way to solve for that. I love America 2.0, which is why I hate the stimulus package. What a colossal waste of money.
Yeah, well, you're on an island because the American public, Kevin O'Leary, likes the stimulus package. Some 70% surveyed in a Pew Research.
Bro, who doesn't like free money? I mean, Scott even brings this question up. No duh, Scott. I would like a check, please, Scott. Yes. Yes, sir. Who doesn't want a check? Guys, stick around. I'm going to give you the numbers on this check. The amount of waste, it's beyond belief. It's beyond belief, and it actually doesn't go to the people who really need it. It's ridiculous.
Not only that, business optimism from the CEOs today, as we referenced, we could put it up again. The responses are off the charts. I mean, there's the stimulus plan optimism. 70% are in favor, 28% oppose it. I mean, it seems the only folks, or the majority of the folks who oppose it, maybe are conservative politicians. And
conservative politicians. Bro, if I gave my kid the option, would you like to have unlimited candy? Yes, I would like to have unlimited candy, Scott. Thank you very much. I mean, come on, dude. It's not conservatives. It's just people with sense. Who doesn't want free money? Send me my check. Of course everybody wants free money. God. Like, that's a good thing, Scott.
You put yourself in that category.
No. This has nothing to do with which side of the aisle I'm on. Scott, help me. I'm making $74,000 a year. You offer me a free $1,400 check. I'm going to say no? Of course I'm going to say yes. But what a stupid waste of money. Giving people that are already gainfully employed money from a helicopter from the sky is just inflationary, and it's stupid. It's a complete waste of money.
Okay,
I'm not kidding. Why would you do that? Give me one reason why that's a good idea.
I'm going to tell you right now because of what the American Airlines CEO said. So, you can comment on the other side. He told 13,000 employees, quote, to tear up notices of possible furloughs that they received last month. Why? Once the stimulus bill is signed into law, quote, we can happily say that all of our U.S.-based team members now have job protection through September 30th of 2021. That's why. Kevin O'Leary?
Why would I give money to the airline? Why wouldn't I give money from the government direct to the employees after the airline goes bankrupt? Because 20 to 50% of business travelers are never going back to doing that anymore because it's a waste of money. And those are too many tubes in the air. The airline business is going to be about $89 tickets to Orlando, a crappy business. We have to let them go bankrupt. They're very good at it. I want to take care of the employees, but I do not want to bail out the airlines anymore. We don't need that many tubes in the sky.
There's a cause and effect.
They're very good at going bankrupt. I love Mr. Wonderful, man. He's right, dude. They are very good at going bankrupt. They should go over to bankrupt. Dude, they go bankrupt, restructure, reorganize. There's not going to be no airplanes. They're going to reorganize those businesses, come back leaner and meaner. Mr. Wonderful is 100% right.
The money.
Isn't there a cause and effect to both? You save the airline, so you, in effect, save the employees. That's what the CEO
I don't want to
of the
save
airline
the
itself
airlines.
is saying.
I'm a taxpayer. Why do I have to save this or save that? Why can't the market deal them their outcome? Why can't we let the market be the market? The new America 2.0 doesn't need that many tubes in the sky flying people around that don't need to do it anymore. We go to a zoo. We do it digitally. We're going virtual. It's a waste of money to try and pick winners and losers. This bill is full of pork, trying to pick winners and losers, trying to regain an economy for 2019. 2020 that doesn't exist anymore. It's a total waste of money. Look, I'm not the only guy saying this. It's nothing to do with politics. I can't stand inefficiency and waste. It's so dumb to do this. I totally agree. Give money to the unemployed, including those airline employees you talked about, Scott, and also give $1 trillion to getting vaccines in people's arms, but nothing else to anybody else. We don't need it. The economy's on fire. We're going to get 7-8% GDP. We don't need any more stimulus. This is wasteful.
You have to believe that the stimulus plan and its passage is part of the reason why you have such optimism from the Business Roundtable. They raised GDP forecast at 3.7%. It's got to be part of it. They raised their GDP forecast. Their plans for hiring are up 30 points from the fourth quarter. Their sales expectations are up double digits from the fourth quarter. They're optimistic for a reason. Help's on the way, no?
Bro, anytime you give people unlimited money, sure, people are going to spend more money. But, Scott, what's going to happen to inflation? How much is that money worth? And you guys hang on to the end because I did some numbers, and it's beyond the pale, the amount of money and the amount of waste. It's beyond the pale.
No, not at all. We don't need any more help. You know that I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. We don't need that anymore. The economy is coming back in a new digital form, and all of those PPP loans from the first package, 60% were wasted. Anything we're giving to businesses now is a complete waste of money. There's so much liquidity in the global markets that if you deserve to live as a business, you can get funded. We don't have to fund losers and zombie companies and already dead companies anymore. That's what we're doing. Let the market be the market, Scott. This has nothing to do with politics. I'm really unhappy. I read the bill. Do I have to give $300 million to study how animals feel about COVID? I've already spoken to the animals. They're okay with it.
I'm
sure. $300 million.
They're okay. They're good. I love Mr. Wonderful Man.
I'm sure that there are things certainly to cherry pick, but we have on our wall right here what's actually in the relief bill. You've got $246 billion for unemployment insurance, $350 billion for state and local governments. You've got obviously the checks going out to reopen schools, $178 billion. Farmers are getting $100 billion. Restaurants, live event venues, they've been so decimated, Kevin O'Leary, throughout this entire crisis. Don't they need money?
No, they don't. I don't know what the behavioral change has been across the market. We don't know yet how many people are going back into office towers, how many are going to go to a rock concert indoors. We don't know how many people are actually going to work away from the office or not. Let the economy actually readjust to the new digital reality, and before we actually give money to all these businesses. You know, there's also $1.5 billion to Amtrak in there. I don't want to cherry pick, but when you start adding $1 billion here, $1 billion there, it's real money.
Who the hell rides trains, man? Can we get past this stupid idea of trains? Nobody rides trains, man. I ride the train to work every day. Good. Get a new way. I mean, come on, man. We're supporting these dead infrastructure projects. Come on, man. Let Amtrak die. Nobody needs it.
They haven't even spent the first $1 billion we gave them. We don't know how many people are going on to subways anymore. They don't even want to go into the city to work anymore. Maybe they're going to stay at home, take care of their elderly parents. Why don't you just let it just settle out and then decide how much money we have to give? We haven't even spent on infrastructure yet, and there's billions in this bill for infrastructure spending. I mean, look, at the end of the day, somebody has to put up their hand and say, why are we doing this when we don't need to? The economy is on fire.
Hey, Mr. Wonderful tells it like I see it, man, which is basically you get government here picking the winners and the losers. Why do they get to say the airlines? Why do they get to say the cruise ships or the hotels or the movie theaters? Why do they get to say any of that? Who are they to pick? They're terrible pickers. Look at Scott. Scott's a terrible picker. If you bet on Scott, you bet on GE in 1995. Like, he's the worst picker, and he's better than any government picker. Like, why would we bet? Why would we have the government picking the winners and losers? It's a terrible plan. Let me show you some numbers here. It's kind of crazy. All right, this is going to blow your mind. Like, I did these numbers. I couldn't even believe it when I did them because it's incredible to even think about. So I did one here for the current stimulus checks, $1.9 trillion stimulus checks. And of course, it's going to airlines, going all over the place, right? So I took everybody who's making less than $75,000 a year. So that totals 176 million people. If we divide that 1.9 trillion by 176 million people, that's a stimmy check of $10,774 for every single person below $75,000 a year. How would that drive the economy forward if we just gave every person 100, which basically is like every kid, you know, in the country $10,000. Everybody making less than $75,000 a year gave them $10,000. What would that do to the economy? The economy would roar, like just completely explode. Are you kidding me? It would be unbelievable. But this one is even crazier. This is even crazier. And I know you guys are going to say, yeah, but we needed money for the COVID and to develop the COVID. I get it. Okay, fine. Take out $1 trillion. But even if you take out a trillion for COVID development and getting COVID in everybody's arms, even if you did that, look at these numbers, man. These numbers are ridiculous. $4 trillion divided by, I went up to 100,000 because I was like, look, everybody under 100,000, which is basically 2/3 of the population. Everybody under $100,000 a year in income, which is 216 million people. Divide that by $4 trillion and you get $18,449 for every single person under $100,000 a year. Even if you took it and said, oh no, well, let's make it $3 trillion because we're going to take away $1 trillion for COVID development and injecting everybody. That's $13,837 for every single person who makes less than $100,000 a year. Give me a break, guys. This is the kind of government waste that is terrible. Picking winners and losers when winners and losers don't need to be picked. Give the money directly to people who need it and move on. Let the free market take care of the rest.